morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Global Atheist News. This week's headlines. A Pakistan court sentences a woman to death for blasphemy. Documents released to the BBC show that the Liverpool bomber lied to stay in the UK. Islamic State militants surrender as Kurdish-led forces surround a Syrian prison. 2 men were arrested in Manchester in connection with the Texas synagogue siege. Shots were heard near the presidential palace in Burkina Faso. Pope Benedict XVI admits being at a meeting about an abusive priest when he ran the Munich archdiocese. Influential Christian rapper Brady Phanatik Goodwin denounces Christianity. Religion is a major problem in Africa, according to Ghanaian Christians. Hymen repair surgery and virginity testing is to be banned in the UK. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge show support for a Burnley Christian charity. A court in Pakistan has sentenced a woman to death over allegedly blasphemous messages sent over WhatsApp and Facebook. Anika Atik, 26, was found guilty and given a death sentence by a court in Rawalpindi on Wednesday after a complaint was registered against her under Pakistan's draconian cybercrime and blasphemy laws. According to the charge sheet, Atik met her accuser, a fellow Pakistani, online in 2019 through a mobile gaming app, and the pair began corresponding over WhatsApp. He accused her of sending blasphemous caricatures of holy prophets, making remarks about holy personages, and using her Facebook account to transmit blasphemous material to other accounts. In doing so, she deliberately and intentionally defiled sacred righteous personalities and insulted the religious beliefs of Muslims, according to the charge sheet. Atik, who has stated that she is a practicing Muslim, denied all the charges. During the trial, Atik told the court that she believed the complainant intentionally dragged her into a religious discussion so he could collect evidence and take revenge after she refused to be friendly with him. The court found her guilty, gave her a 20-year sentence, and ordered her to be hanged. Pakistan is an Islamic state and has some of the harshest blasphemy laws in the world, regularly handing down death sentences. But in practice, executions are not carried out and the accused spend their lives in jail. New details have emerged about the Liverpool bomber, Ahmad al-Swilmeen, his failed asylum attempts, and the false information he used to make his cases. Al-Swilmeen was killed when his bomb went off inside a taxi at the Liverpool Women's Hospital on Remembrance Sunday in November. A previously confidential 2015 asylum judgment, released to the BBC, reveals how his claim of being a Syrian refugee lacked basic facts. In fact, al-Swilmeen is an Iraqi, and he lost that case, but the Home Office did not remove him before he tried again under a new name. Questions remain about why he was not removed from the UK before the attack. Kurdish-led forces in Syria say another 250 militants have surrendered as they work to clear the last part of a prison seized by the Islamic State group, IS. At least 300 handed themselves in on Monday as Syrian Democratic Force commandos moved into the facility in the northeastern city of Hasaka. Dozens are still thought to be holed up inside, along with guards held as hostages and several hundred children. IS attacked the prison last Thursday in an attempt to stage a mass breakout. More than 160 people were killed in the fighting, including 114 suspected militants and 45 SDF personnel. The UN says up to 45,000 residents of Hasaka have also fled their homes to escape the clashes. 2 men have been arrested as part of an investigation into an attack on a Texas synagogue, which saw a gunman take 4 people hostage. Malik Faisal Akram from Blackburn in Lancashire was shot dead by the FBI after a 10-hour standoff in the US on the 15th of January. 2 other men were arrested in Birmingham and Manchester on the 20th of January, but they've been released with no further action. The force said officers from Counter-Terrorism Policing Northwest were continuing with their investigation and working closely with US law enforcement. Shots have been heard near the presidential palace in Burkina Faso's capital amid a mutiny by soldiers. Gunfire has also been heard at several barracks in Ouagadougou, with soldiers demanding the sacking of military chiefs and more resources to fight militant Islamists. Hundreds of people came out in support of the troops, forcing authorities to introduce a nighttime curfew. The government said the crisis had been contained. It dismissed rumors of a new coup attempt just over a week after 11 soldiers were detained for allegedly plotting a coup. The location of President Roch Kabore is unclear, but the defense minister denied rumors circulating on social media that he was under arrest. It is the latest sign of growing discontent with President Kabore's government over its failure to quell the Islamist insurgency that has devastated the West African state since 2015. Pope Benedict XVI admitted on Monday that he was at a meeting in 1980 at which an abusive priest was discussed, blaming his earlier denial at having been there on an error in the editing of his statement. An independent investigation into abuse by Catholic clergy in the archdiocese of Munich, where Benedict was archbishop from 1977 to 1982, last week showed minutes of the meeting saying he was present and rejected his denial as barely credible. The admission came in a statement to the Catholic news agency via his private secretary, Archbishop George Ganswine, who said the error had not been made out of malicious intent, but was the result of an error in the editorial processing of his statement. He is very sorry for this and asked to be excused, Ganswine said. For the last 30 years, influential Christian rap group the Cross Movement's Brady Phanatik Goodwin has traveled the world preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. This week, Goodwin announced he no longer believes what he wholeheartedly used to preach. Goodwin has authored 5 books, holds a bachelor's degree in biblical and Christian service from Lancaster Bible College, a master's degree from Westminster Theological Seminary in Philadelphia, and has taught apologetics, Bible studies, and cultural engagement at the Center for Urban Theological Studies located in Philadelphia. On Monday, Goodwin posted a 24-minute video on his Facebook page titled, unbecoming a believer. In the video, Goodwin confirmed the rumours that he had walked away from the faith after spending the last 30 years travelling the world preaching to others about what I wholeheartedly believed. I sent a letter to my church withdrawing my membership and saying that I am denouncing the Christian faith that I have believed, professed, proclaimed, and defended for the last 30 years of my life, Goodwin revealed. See this video.
So it's come to this. I figured it was time that I made a public statement. I sort of have been making public statements for a while. Even before I knew what the statements were, I sort of have been making statements. I'm sure many of you have been wondering, like, yo, what's up with your man? What's up with Phanatik? He don't seem to be saying what he used to say. Or he's saying things that you never could imagine him saying, questioning things. Or, you know, we got to pray for Phanatik, and I appreciate all the prayers. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the concern. I appreciate all the, heartfelt, bro, I feel you on this. Or it's been a crazy journey for me over the last couple of years. I sort of been trying to like throw out little hints to kind of just advertise, or at least let people know, you know, I'm not where I once was. I'm not where I used to be. And even when I didn't know where I was, I knew I wasn't totally where I used to be. And that just is on some social matters, political matters, not even theological. Just I don't see things the way some folks in my Christian community do. A lot of folks in my Christian community do.
Ghana is praying while other countries are working, and this is a major problem. See this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mampolo from Mampolo's Corner. Renew your mindset.
China, America, India, everybody is working, and the Ghanaian is praying. It is 7 a.m. in the morning. Is this not anything to do with the government? What are the farmers? What are the fishermen? What are the administrators? Call them all. Put the transport into the market. We are sick. And if you have any problem to solve, this is the problem of the country. Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, one of the Ghanaian brothers sent me this video. He said, Mampolo, I have been following you. I have been loving your work. I have been liking the way you renew mindset. Please, most of the Ghanaian Christians, he said their head, it don't enter where their nyash dey. He said they don't use their head to think anymore. All they know is church, 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 church. Church in the morning, church in the afternoon, church in the night, and church in the midnight. Say, nine Ghanaians know. Neither know now. Now he said, Paul, I beg, I won't make you renew. Ghanaian Christian, most of the Christians, not all of them, but he said majority of them say we need to renew their mindset. Now he sent me this video. That's why I said a Ghanaian send me this video. This is not only common to Ghanaians. This is common to almost all the African countries. Almost all the African countries. The Christian one day, almost all the African countries, this is common to them.
The UK government is planning on banning a cosmetic surgery treatment called hymenoplasty across the UK. It attempts to recreate a woman's hymen, which in some cultures is linked to virginity and has been described as a form of honor-based abuse. The procedure will be criminalized, as will virginity testing. The Minister for Care and Mental Health, Gillian Keegan, said the government was committed to safeguarding vulnerable women and girls in this country. Hymenoplasty is available in clinics and can cost up to £3,000. The procedure recreates a thin membrane known as the hymen, which partially covers the entrance to the vagina. It is often done as a way to repair a hymen. But the World Health Organization says the appearance of a hymen is not a reliable indication of intercourse. A woman's hymen can tear for all sorts of reasons and not just through sexual intercourse, for instance, through playing sports or using tampons. The practice of hymenoplasty is linked to conservative cultures which place a high value on virginity, with the expectation a virgin should bleed after sex on her wedding night. The WHO says virginity testing is practiced in at least 20 countries. It involves an intrusive vaginal examination to check if the hymen is intact. See this video.
I went through rape, and when I was raped, the solution to cover it up or to stop anybody finding out was the surgery. It was explained to me that it would be a very quick surgery, but it will repair the damage so that when you are married, you're kind of disguised as a virgin. And it wasn't something I felt I had a choice over. It was always put on me as if this is the only option, and this is something you can do to fit back in. Mentally, emotionally, it was very destroying. I felt outcasted. I felt alone. I felt guilty if I didn't do it. And it was a very big weight on my shoulders.
What did you choose to do in that situation? Did you end up having the surgery or not?
I didn't. I managed to have the courage to fight it, but that took a lot. That took a lot of hate towards my family, shame especially, because me declining that would mean me dishonoring them, which will eliminate a lot of choices in being forced to marry somebody of their sort. It was a lot of pressure, but within myself, I knew I couldn't do it. I knew that it wasn't right for me, but I'm thankful that I've had the kind of courage to be able to push it, but not a lot of people can.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have shown their support for a charity set up during the coronavirus pandemic to help the grief-stricken and homeless. Prince William and Catherine met Pastor Mick Fleming, who founded Church on the Street in Burnley, Lancashire, to support those in need. During the visit, Pastor Mick explained how so many people in Burnley fall through the gaps with poverty. He told the royal couple that the charity aimed to make a real impact. The BBC previously spent 12 months filming with Pastor Mick, who is a former drug dealer, and he's turned his life around after finding his faith. Prince William told Pastor Mick that he had watched that programme and had been moved by the charity's work. See this video.
Good to see you. Really good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, it's massive for us because there's so many people in Burnley that they fall through the gaps with poverty. So we're trying to bring it together with dual diagnosis and kind of like a real impact. And the work we do support the national health and lift that up so it makes it more robust recovery for people.
Free Thought Hour, my interview show, will be starting in a few minutes, so stay tuned to this channel. This week's guest is Andrian Timeswift, who has a legacy of illness from his upbringing in Seventh-day Adventism. Come and chat with us or ask questions live. The GAN team will be back with our weekly news review next week. Please like, share, and subscribe. This has been Global Atheist News. Thank you for watching.